Right. Hello. Hello, hello. Hopefully this is now working. We'll see and make sure that everything's here and everything's up and running. Yeah, the YouTube had changed the stream key once again. I'm gonna have to make it a weekly thing to check that before I click on the go live button and everything else. As you can hear, my voice is here a little bit. Apparently I'm a bit quiet. I'll move the mic and get a bit closer and cough a moment. Right. Hello everybody. Hopefully I'm a little bit louder and a little bit clearer and a little bit less choking and coughing at the moment. We'll see how it goes throughout the case of the evening and how long this lasts, basically. As ever, it's probably going to be an hour or so. Hour and a half is my normal stream. But yes, that's louder apparently. Yeah, I'm talking a little bit louder because I just had to turn the mic off and had a cough, and I have readjusted the microphone as well. Hello and welcome. Sorry if you were on the other page that should have been the right page but wasn't, but now this is the right page. That, yeah, next time it will be fine, I'm sure. We'll see. Right, let's have a look. Hello and welcome to this evening's Warhamster. I've got the Warhamster, which is slowly getting there. I'm slowly adding little details of paints, and I've put in some silver on the gun and gold bits on his knees and things like that. I've done a little bit of writing on these little mission ribbon things, whatever they are. So yeah, I'm not doing that tonight. That's my ongoing, when I've got a few minutes, just to put him aside. Little bit of work. Pascal was in weeks ago on the last stream. I noticed that. He's actually sent a picture, a screenshot of him being first, because we didn't believe him, because Dad was in after him. But let's have a quick scroll through the chat and see. While I'm here, give everybody a chance to turn up and find the right link. Yep, Pascal was saying, did his message disappear? Yep, it did. George Gabriel's been in for a while. It's 84 minutes, that's too many. So he was here too early and was cross that he had to wait a little while. Sorry George, but I'm here now. Honest, yeah. So I say Dad's in as well. The Sprue crew are in, saying evening all. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the Sprue crew. You'll find in the chat there'll be a thing. Click on them and find it that way, because they haven't got a name yet, because they haven't been able to get their 100 subscribers that they need to get a proper URL, which makes everything so much easier on YouTube. So I can't say go to thespruecrew.com or anything like that, because they haven't quite got there yet. They're almost there, so it might be you that tips them over the edge to the 100. So click on them, find them, and unsubscribe to them. They're going to be doing some live shows and content and stuff on that group. It's a group of 6, I think, five or six YouTube people that you may know some of, and we may know all of. But they're going to be putting some content on there that's easier to find, obviously, than their individual channels, just as a group thing. So go and subscribe to them, get them up to the 100, and then we'll start seeing what they're going to produce. Let's see what we've got in here. Festa's in as well. Colin at Festa 67's workshop. George Gabriel did have a chance to go and get lunch. Or breakfast, was it? How would you say? Lunch. He said lunch because he's in foreign, so it's middle of the day there. He said he ate Girl Scout cookies. Is that lunch? Yeah, that'll do for lunch, yeah. Then I clicked the button for the pre-show, and it didn't actually pre-show. It went somewhere else. And everyone's saying, don't panic, no pressure. It's not working. It says Osric 9000, who's in. Watch live, it now says Ted. Chris has done a TED, says the Sprue crew. Jamie Bones in, saying hi everyone. New link, same link, yeah. Hopefully you're all in and refreshed and watching and here. Hopefully you're all here now. So if you're not here, then sorry, but I'm sure you are here now. Oh look, my chat's over there is different to my chat here. Let me refresh that chat and hopefully that will get there going. Yeah. Because I can see other people appearing on there. Candygram for Mongo saying, yeah, it's glad he's working now. John Bias is in, worrying about my alien floaty head. And Osric's asking if that is a desk or a green screen. I put a little video up earlier of me playing around with a green screen. Yeah, that chat doesn't seem to be working on my iPad now, so I'll have to be elsewhere with making sure everything comes in, and I'll try and get it working throughout the evening. Excuse me. Yeah, I got a green screen with the computer that I got, so I've been playing around with that, trying to get that working, trying to figure out how to do green screen chroma key things in my Pinnacle software. And yeah, I'm getting there. Hopefully I'll figure it out and try and use it in my general not in every video obviously, but on the occasional video and things. We'll see if we can have some fun with that. Right, so Paul Desvasio's in saying hello, Chris and everyone else. Crew Fester again. Shane Young's in. Jamie Bone. Tyrone Key says, Chris, the ribbon things on the Warhamster are called purity seals. Okay, thank you. You may have noticed. If you didn't notice, then you'll soon notice. I know nothing at all about Warhammer. I know that's called a Taurox because it said it on the box when I opened it. I know these are paints and they've all got funny names. But that is pretty much my total knowledge of Warhammer. So feel free to tell me, but I will probably forget. So yeah, I've been able to get the chat working up here, I think. So hopefully that'll be working. It's saying there. Jamie Bones just subbed to the Sprue crew, so thank you for that. Green screen is cool, says Dad. Yeah, it seems to be. I'll get there and I'll figure out something to do with it. But yeah, so the video's up there at the moment. It's just less than a minute. Just me playing around with it, trying to figure out and get sliders set and things like that. I need to get it lit better than it is at the moment. Right, so now I'm here and we're here and I know it's working. I'm going to have a drink because I'm going to be throaty and coffee still. We ordered in tonight, so yeah. Right, welcome to Sunday evening, the late show. Fox did his earlier, obviously. This is my turn, doing some Warhamster. This is the Taurox that I've been building and built basically now. It's all stuck together except for the front grill bumpery thing, because you can't paint in through that to get to that, so that's just stuck on there at the moment. But I had to glue the top down to get the guy's arms fitting in there properly. That's the only other bit that's not actually attached yet. But that is the bit that I have actually almost finished. I've obviously painted it in orange and then gone over it with a combination of Cassandra yellow and Reichland flesh shade to do some sort of highlighting or low lighting of the rivets and things. So yeah, as Osric says, continuing adventures in orange. Yeah, and Paul says, so Chris, you're doing a custom paint job on that kit. Everything I do is a custom paint job because I don't follow paint instructions very well. So yes, it's pretty custom. I've not followed any guidelines or anything. The kit itself was actually a gift from Fox and came in a white box rather than a box with art on it. So I haven't actually got any coloured pictures of how it's meant to look. And you can do it how you like. I'm not going to be playing it as a game, so it will be however it is. As ever, this is obviously now on YouTube. If you're watching and can't find the chat, make sure you're actually watching on YouTube itself. Click on the button wherever it may be, probably down that side, I think. To find the chat, join in, say hello. You know, if I've just got to talk myself for the next hour, then it's going to be very boring for everybody, not least me. So join in, say hello, and I'll be after your hints and advice as more than me giving them. Dad says Google is your friend, Chris. Yeah, I could Google it, but then that would just be what other people have done. Whereas, you know, the previous Warhammer kit that I did was over here still, the Dark Elder Raider, which I made it up as I went along. I followed the instructions for building the kit, obviously, but the paint job is a Gross Models exclusive, gold and black toned shade thingy. So yeah, I'm just making it up as I go along. It's the fun way of doing it. It's not exactly, you know, anything else. Apparently the Sprue Crew have 86 subscribers, so they need 14 more subscribers. So assuming that the 25 viewers that are watching me at the moment have all subscribed to it, if they haven't, then you've got them. But if they have, then yeah, sorry. Shane Young's just got his wife to subscribe to the Sprue Crew as well, so they're getting there. I will endeavour to mute the mic when I have to cough, because I'm going to be sitting here talking. I'm going to be coughing. I have been improving as the weeks have gone on, but moving around pretty much triggers me to cough, and talking, funny enough, triggers me to cough. So as this is not moving around but is talking, I'm likely to cough. If I do cough into the microphone, I apologise in advance. It's not deliberate. I don't mean no disrespect to anybody, but, you know, I just can't help it. Onwards and onwards. The Torx itself, let me take that off because otherwise I'm going to lose it, is obviously orange. There's still work to be done. I've got to bring out highlighting bits on the grill and everything else, as well as the major panelling, shading, highlighting, low lighting, everything else. Candygram from Mongo says, I wish the germ would go away. You and me both. Yeah, I'm fed up with it now. It's been probably a month now, maybe even more than that. It's getting there. I'm feeling okay. It's just the voice is the problem now, which, you know, being a YouTube celebrity is quite important to have a voice, but unfortunately it's not liking me at the moment much. As ever, I haven't got a plan. I've got no idea of what I'm thinking about doing this evening or anything. I've only been doing this, I say, pretty much on Sunday nights on camera. I tidied up the yellow on these a little bit after the show last week, but that was pretty much all I did. So I put that to one side again. That's, again, almost completed that bit. So I think I might start doing some with the flesh shade. The flesh shade's quite a darker shade, just to bring out the panel lines and things like that on there. It's probably the wrong order to be doing things, but you know, yeah, exactly. Spooky Q8's in. He says, I'm no longer on a hamburger train and have Wi-Fi. How are we? I'm coughing, yeah. John says, coughing into the mic is no problem, just avoid farting in the mic. Yeah, it's the other end of my body's pointing towards the microphone, so you're probably going to be okay. Right, I think I'm going to go in with the regiment brush with this, because it's quite a fine brush, but not fine enough to, you know, take ages. It holds quite a bit of paint. What I'm going to be doing, I'll be talking while I'm doing it, no doubt, but I might go quiet for some periods of time today, because I do need to rest it a little bit. Paul says what I'm doing with the Warhammer kits I've got. I'm going to go for a futuristic Nazi theme, similar to the Wolfenstein video games. That's interesting. Yeah, if you get to a group like that. Dad says I paint my Warhammer how I want them painted. Model officers popped in. That's I can't remember. That's not Carl. Is it Carl's making models? That's yeah. I know your name. I can't remember it. Sorry, but yes, evening, just popping in, feeling the pain too. Been suffering almost 4 months, no video because of it. Yeah, it's a problem when it kicks into you like that, isn't it? So, yeah. Is it Jamie? I'm thinking Jamie, but I don't know if it might not be. James, yeah, let's see, there you go, James. I was there, I was nearly there, James, sorry. Right, I'm going to start at the top, actually, and not exactly slapping it on, but not being overly neat with this, just rubbing into the recesses and around the raised areas, which when that dries gives quite a nice sort of shadowing. That's really the word. It's almost like a wash, but not quite. I'm sure there is a technical term for it, and if Fox was here, he'd be shouting it at me by now. There is, I've seen Duncan do it, and he calls it something, but I can't remember what he calls it. But it's sort of a wash. but it's sort of a highlight wash, really. You can probably see that already on there. It's just bringing out the detail, making it a little bit easier to see. So just going to get that in around here. I know I saw probably all of you, or most of you, on Fox's stream earlier, but how you been in the last few hours? You know, everything all right? I'll read the chat again in a minute, but say I can't read and paint, and I do want to get some painting done. As I say, this is the only time that I spend any time painting this one. With the germ being a factor in my life for the last month, I haven't done very much modelling at all. But today I have got back down to do the some of the eModels MIG stuff. Not enough to do a video for it yet, but it's getting there. So it's nice that there is some movement on that front. Get this in there, around there, all across there, and the rivets on the top. This whole bit in there, I'm just going to be giving a coat of Nuln Oil, really, to darken that down. You can't see very much of it when it's obviously got that over there anyway, but it's just to add a bit of shading and everything to it. The guy himself, I will obviously again be doing a bit more on. Not that I'm calling him a moron, you must admit, yet, but I'll be working on him again as time goes by. Get these rivets on there as well as the edges. Now apparently, being that this is a shade, I'm allowed to take it straight out the bottle. I can't be told off for that. Well, I can, because I probably will be, but no, I'm allowed to do that. It's in the rules. Don't know if I'm going to be doing any more detail work on this. Stripes were mentioned. I need to do that in gold as well, so I'm not going to bother doing anything on that. Let's get these shaded in. Right. Right, let's have a look. Paul says I'm going for Easter colour theme. Shade. Shade is what I'm doing. Yeah, it's also the name of the paint, I think. That's probably it. Throwing shade at it, yeah. Apparently Liverpool did well with some sport ball. I don't know. I think Chris should use a bit of Citadel Manchester red paint, says Jamie Bone. Why? What? Is that Mephiston red? Is that the red? I'm going to be shading this anyway. Although I think I'm going to be colouring the line itself in a different colour. I think it's silvery or something. Silver or gold. But the edges I might as well darken up as well anyway. I didn't do the whole hope I'm in focus and everything, but it seemed to be when I was looking over my shoulder at the other feed that I've got going on here. So if you can't see me, or I go quiet, or you know, you see me too much, give me a shout, let me know, and I will come back to the chat from time to time, because as I say, it's all about you lot. you can see anyone paint things, but it's the content in the chat is what intrigues me and makes me enjoy doing this. I could sit and paint on my own and it'd be boring. I'd put a book on or something, but it's the interaction with you guys that makes a difference to me. I can't remember what I've done because it's so subtle I can't really make out which bits I've actually already painted and done. When I tried using the other orange it was even worse. Spid says we can't see you, but it's not a complaint. Yeah, okay, thank you. You might not be able to see me, but you can still see this, can't you? You're not, you know, you are messing with me rather than actually having a valid complaint on you. Yeah, I can see myself on the little telly broadcasty thing, so ha. Right, let's continue down this side, I think. Probably the best way of doing it. I think the chrome needs a different shade. So I'll come back and do that again. Either later or another time. One of them things. Now once this is done and dry, I will need to go back into it and basically dry brush over. Most of the orange again to bring back the orange. But I've got lots of orange, that's okay. What was that? Yes, I can see you. We can see the Taurox, only just the camo blends in too well. Well, if it was on an orange planet, then it really would. And I'm sure out in the wilds of wherever this takes place, there will be orange planets. So it's not impossible that it is camo. It's just not Earth camo. Maybe it's Mars camo. So I've got to find something to talk about that hasn't been talked to death on Fox's show earlier. He probably did what have you been building and what have you been eating. So how are you all? Are you? I know a couple of you did have and germ the other week as well. Hopefully yours is not lasting as long as mine. You can't blame me for giving it to you again. So the front of that's now been done and hopefully is visible as being a little bit more detailed than the back bit, because that's what this is all about. Bringing out the almost hidden detail so it's less hidden. And of course covering up any glaring errors in the painting. It's always useful for that as well. But that'll also be covered by the next stage of going over and dry brushing again. Paul's at work, so he's not really enjoying himself. But at least the live streams help to make the time pass better. Well, if we can help somebody just by being here and making you think you've got someone to talk to, then so that's perfectly acceptable as far as I'm concerned. Hope you don't get in trouble if you get caught watching. You're meant to be watching YouTube and things while you're at work. Oh, bit much on that side. Spread that around a bit. There we go. Okay. Once I get this bit done, I'll have another nose through and see what I've missed in the chat. How you all been doing? And then pretty much the front will probably be dry. As I've been working my way around. Nice thing about these paints, they don't take very long to dry at all. The shades obviously take a little bit longer because they're more liquid, they're wetter. That in there. Alright, Spid says this hand germ is being a sod. I know several sufferers. To go to the boring subjects of sort of work with you, picked up a nice little Seiko 5 automatic at a flea market yesterday. That's my sort of work, is watches. Yeah, Seiko automatics are nice watches. They're not expensive, but they're good workhorses, basically. They just keep going. Just getting a couple of these lines that it seems that I missed. So yeah, I'll get these bits in here as well. A little bit less careful on that because this is going to be more heavily weathered as well. Actually, I'll be putting some metallics in there as well. Right, how am I going to hold this? Let me hold that in the middle bit there now. Then I can get the other wheel, the tracks. There you go. Much easier. Let's get along the tops of those as well. And then turn it around to do the other side. slapping it on. Right, I'll get this one done, then I'll have a look through and see what I've been missing. So I've been rubbing off some of this orange with my fingers as I've been holding it by the wheel bits, the tracks, but not overly worried at the moment. So let me clean that brush off a little bit, have a quick drink, and then see what I've been missing in the chat. Right. I don't need to scroll up because I'm already there. Paul Desmasio says, so Chris, you mentioned Zoomy and Fox's stream. If I come onto your stream, I can get one of your stickers to add to my collection. You can indeed. Yeah, just give me a shout. Oh, as Jamie Bone says, send him an email, send you a sticker. Yeah, I'm not famous enough to have to do competitions or anything, so if you'd like one of my stickers, give me a shout. Grossmodels@gmail.com is the easiest way. Or find me on Facebook in the Boom Hut, or, you know, however you would normally contact me. Give me a shout there, and obviously give me your address and details, and I'll get it sorted for you. Right, everyone's saying hello. Bradley C's come in. Candygram Mongo says, I'd like a Seiko automatic, straightforward, simple one. Got a Seiko SSG 101 that I like quite a bit. I don't know any of the model numbers. Paul says, if I get myself a Taurox, I think I'll convert it to a half track. Wheels in the front and tracks in the back. That's the traditional way of doing it. But you could do it the other way around, or you could do wheels on one side and tracks on the other. That's also a half track, but interesting. Briefly excited, then rapidly deflated earlier. Found there was a 120 Cessna in 172, learned to fly in 152. Thought, ooh, searched eBay, went, no. Oh, right, okay. I had a flying lesson in a Cessna. Only one lesson. I didn't learn. Yeah, well, I reckon if I was in a flight and the pilot, you know, had a problem and I could get there and handle it for a bit, but yeah, I can't actually fly. Sweet, thanks, Chris. It's all good. Yeah, no problem. Candygram says I want a gross model sticker on Fox's stream, but he still hasn't sent it. Yeah, I don't know. Talk to Fox. It's not my fault. Not my fault. You know. Bradley C says, nice. I wouldn't mind a gross model sticker. Same applies. Give me a shout. If you need the email address, let me know. But say, give me a shout through the page, or say the Boom Hut or anything like that. I'll hook you up. It will be okay. When did you win the sticker, Candygram? Because I know he's a bit behind, but he's not normally that bad. Excuse me. Right, it feels like I've been talking for like 3 or 4 hours, but it's been half an hour. So yeah, it might not be a full 90 minutes tonight, as you might have gathered. Right, so that's done some detailing on there. It's, to my eyes, already looking more uniform, more with it, and happier. So yeah, once I get some more shading on that'll be good. I'm gonna actually keep the shading party going and go do some Nuln Oil. Why not? While we're here, while we got the brush out. I've got to wait for the other bits to dry, so let's get some of these metallics and pretty much this entire bay done. Or at least the edges of the bay, because you can't see the middle bit, because that's where the other bit's going to be fixed and glued in. So let's get Nuln Oil spread over there. That just adds a nice sort of background shading to all of it, especially the darker colours. The green will take the Nuln quite well. It's a bit too much for the orange, but for the green it works nicely, I think. Let's get some on the inside of here then. The metallics in there as well. There we go, that'll do that. And then some of the guns and things as well, bits where it will seep into the crannies and the nooks and just darken it up quite nicely. Adds a level of realism. Realism to a fake thing. I know it's great, but you know. Exactly the same as I've been doing to the others, but just it's a slightly different shade for a slightly different area. So that's the side that's done versus the side that doesn't. It looks more real, less plasticky. I know it's still plastic, but you know. Get it in there, bit in everywhere. They're right, you know, this non-oil is pretty much talent in a bottle. Just by painting it on, it just makes things look better without any real care or attention as to where you're putting it. Most of it fades away and washes down, but enough of it stays in the right place. Paul says he sent an email to grossmodels@gmail.com. It should be. I'll double check before we go anywhere. Candygram says I'm in no hurry if they ever arrive. Flox has plenty to keep track of, and though, yeah, he sends out many more than me. So yeah, I'm sure you'll get me in the end. I need to do his hands as well. He's going to be wearing some sort of gloves, I think. Not Fox. The guy that's driving this thing. One that looks a bit like Ted. No oil is incredible, says Speed. It's strangely similar in colour to Henderson's Relish. Coincidence? I haven't tried Henderson's Relish yet. I've been told of its... I actually managed to bend that bit down by holding it by it. Note to self, don't hold it by the little laddery foot bits, because they're not that strong. I think I will quite enjoy Henderson's Relish. I like the Worcestershire sauce. It's meant to be that sort of plus. So at some point I'll get a bottle of that and sort it out and try it. Worcestershire. Don't want to get the two mixed up though, because yeah, this probably wouldn't taste nearly as good. So that's all the shading that I think I can do at the moment. I'll see about doing some silvery thing on there. Do they taste similar? Says Candygram from Mongo. Yeah, I don't think they do. Its awesomeness in a bottle could probably be used as an oil alternative, but that would be a criminal waste. Yeah, I think you might get away with it that way, but probably not the other way. Right. I'm seeing, again, different chats in different places. Yeah, my chat seems to have died. Oh, no, there it goes. It's just coming up again. Bradley C says, do you use any other techniques to weather something? There's lots of different weathering techniques. Being simple, I use the basic ones. So yeah, I mean, depends what you mean by weathering. If you're talking about actual weather, then mud and stains and everything all over it, you can go as far as you like. If you're just lightly covering it and making it look a bit more real, then these shades do the job. In normal model making, if you like, there's lots of different varieties and ways of doing it, but sticking with the Citadel products, as I'm trying to do on here, because I told Fox I'd do one properly, and then he'd paint me a Warhamster, and I'm still waiting on the Warhamster. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, there are lots of varieties. Lots of other people will be able to tell you how to do it much better than I can, because yeah. Right, I'm going to try and get his hands painted. I think that's the next stage. So I think I'm going to go in with the Scrag Brown again, which I've still got some in my wet palette from a week or two ago, which probably is still viable by the looks of it. It might need a little bit of mixing up. That's gold. That's not brown. That's gold. I did a bit of gold on the hamster himself earlier. I remember now. So yeah, the brown is pretty dried out actually, so no, I need to get some more brown out. So let's get some brown. Not going to need loads because I'm obviously only doing a little bit of hands, but I'm not doing it out of the pot because that's a, you know, I've been told not to do that. Let's get some water down there. Alright. So, what do you do for mud? Slap on some brown paint, says Bradley C. You can, but I've been playing around with some of the AK stuff. I've got a couple of different mud for diorama bottles. You have more than that, can't find the other ones. They're around there somewhere. Yeah, mud effects. There's also, these have been very good. Heavy mud and mud splashes. Again, you can't use them on Warhammer stuff because Fox will shout at you. But for normal stuff, I did the Gundam. I did a mud diorama base for that. The video of that's around the last video of that, I think, was the third one. So have a look at that if you want to see me playing with some mud. I'm actually going to put on some magnification so I can see what I'm doing down here as well. And I'm just going to give him some brown leather gloves. I've got to go over the gun controls a bit closer as well. I can see now that I've missed big chunks of that. But at the moment I'm just going for the hands. None of this is custom colours, custom mixes or anything, so it's nice and easy to dot backwards and forwards between the colours as and when you need to, without worrying about I'm going to run out of that colour paint, or I need to paint all of this before this bit runs out, or use all this up, or it dries up, because I've made a custom colour. That's why I like using off-the-shelf colours, shall we say. And as ever, it's going to take a couple of thin coats. Yeah, definitely got some silvery bits to do in the middle there as well. But pretty much if you can't see it, then I don't have to worry too much. And if you can see it, I can probably reach it. That's better than the white anyway. There you go. A little bit done. Excuse me. George says, do it out the pot, I won't tell. No, you wouldn't tell. I know you wouldn't tell. But someone would. Not mention any names, but someone would. And Fox will probably watch this later anyway. If he's not already, you know, watching while he's eating and just not typing because he's using his hands to put the food in his face. No one will even know. Paul says to Dad, Fox sent me one of your black and white stickers a while back. The new colour ones look cool. They are. I got one. I got one stuck over there. Talking about email. No Marmite either. Marmite? Who's got Marmite? What? Where's the Marmite? I got Marmite downstairs. I know it's safe downstairs because nobody else in the house will eat it. Right. Should I add that silvery bit to the front? Let's see. That's going to actually be silver rather than lead bircher. Stormhost silver. I've got a little bit of room on my palette. I'll put some of that on there. Shaky, shaky, shaky. That'll do. That's the point. Just Paul's talking about email being sent. Let me just double check and make sure I have received an email. Excuse me. Checking to see. I have an email from Paul de Tomasio. Yes. Love one of your stickers. I shall get one sent out to you in Canadian land. In the next few days, I should think. No problems. Right, let's see. I think that might be the best brush to use for this. So I'm actually going to dry brush it on over the top of this. That's probably going to be the easiest way of getting some decent coverage. So I'm going to, if you've not seen dry brushing, get a little bit of paint and get rid of most of it. And then, with what's left, it just sort of picks out the edges and the highlights. So I'm sort of quite carefully, very lightly, brushing that on. So it just brings out the high points rather than going down to the orange underneath. It'll probably get the orange at the edges. I can re-orange those when I need to as well, so that's not a problem. That's actually quite a nice effect that's giving. It's just a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Just keep going until you feel that you're not getting anything else off the brush. And then you can go and load it up again and do much the same again. Until you get however much paint you want on there already. Right, talking about where you're building, and do you have basements in the UK, said George. Not really, not often, no. Not many. Seems a few of you build in the attic, which has to be insanely hot. No, because we're in the UK. It doesn't get insanely hot. That one week a year it gets insanely hot. But, yeah. You seem to be forgetting the we're in the UK bit of that conversation. When we talk about it getting insanely hot, we mean it's got, 25 degrees. I don't know what that is in funny money. Yeah, the insanely hot bit is something that happens 1 week during the summer, and we all complain about it, and then forget it happened and say, we didn't have a summer this year. Yeah, there we go. So I could keep going for this for ages and ages and ages, and eventually get it completely covered and properly silver, but I'm quite liking the sort of faded effect that I'm getting on this, so I might call that almost done. Once that gets a shade over it, no, it definitely needs to be darker than that because of that going over the top of it anyway. What I might do is actually paint, instead of dry brushing some of this, might actually do some painting of the main body piece. Should be able to do that quite carefully. Paul says, does it rain a lot in the UK? Yep. Today, all day. Lots of it. But then again, we do have times when it doesn't rain. But no, mostly it rains, yeah. It doesn't rain every day or anything like that, but yeah, some days it rains a lot. So let's see about getting some actual paint again, very lightly. Just going for the top surface of all of this. Because otherwise it's going to take weeks to dry brush most of it. There you go. It's got that partially faded look that it should have and I want, but it's got a bit more body to it there as well. Then winters are -15 if you want to talk about. Some months long of 38 of your Celsius degrees. Yeah, we might get a day of that, but not any general length of time at all. 28 and we'll all start complaining that it's far too hot. Oh dear. Right, drink time, and then I'll give that a chance to dry for a moment as well. Right. George says it's only a 12-degree latitude difference, yeah, major weather difference. It doesn't even have to be the degrees, because obviously parts of America are on the same, or is it Canada that's in the same latitude as us? I'm sure there's parts of America that are on the same latitude as us, I'm pretty sure. But it's more complicated than just whereabouts you are on the globe, isn't it? Right, so where are we? We've done shading, lots of shading. I've got to do another coat on the gloves, which I think I'll do in a moment. But that's almost ready for that to be put on there, because I can't do any more underneath it. So that I can glue that on there momentarily. I'm quite happy with how that front's come out. Let's give you a better angle on that. That's sort of shinier, even with the bull bars on there. You still can see that underneath there. But I won't get that glued on there quite yet because I need to do some shading on the front of that as well. But I can get that glued on the top there. So although it's got some paint where it's going to be glued, it's not got loads. So I can just put a fair bit of extra thin in there. And then quickly get that on top. I wouldn't be able to glue it while it's in there and let the caterpillar action take in because it's too far in. But I'm happy with that. One more bit stuck on. So I've done a bit of building tonight and a lot of painting tonight, and it's getting there. I'm almost ready to sort of call it a night again tonight. It's been an hour nearly, and yeah, just about an hour, and the voice is starting to suffer again, and I need it tomorrow night for remodels, so I can't wear it all out on my own stuff because, you know, I'm obliged to appear on the e-models stream. Let me go back in and do a bit more on his gloves before we do anything else. Find me glasses of seeing again. Paul says, looking good, Chris. Thank you very much. I need to do some gold highlighting on this guy's armour as well at some point, against sort of detail work that needs a little bit of picking out here and there, much as I'm doing to the hamster himself. Just as and when I find a bit that needs a little bit more attention. So that's the gloves pretty much done, I think. He'll need a bit of a wash. I'm going to do him a bit differently to the armour itself, purely to make sure he looks different to the armour. So I'm actually going to be using a non-oil wash on him, I think. And sort of darken him down a different shade to the flesh shade for the armour panels. So, yeah, that's pretty much that for this week, I think. I like the orange shading, very nice depth. Yeah, that it does. It really pops out the edges that would be just blended in. The orange is quite a good replica on the screen, actually. That is pretty much how it looks in real life. But the bits around the door obviously pop a little bit better now than they did. So next time I will be going back in and almost dry brushing again the orange over the top, just to bring back the highlights and make that work properly. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this week, I think. As ever, this video is going into the exclusive Patreon archive. Most of my videos are obviously available on YouTube for all and sundry to watch whenever they like, but these Warhammer ones go into a locked vault that only my patrons can view again. So if you do want to view it again, come along to patreon.com/grossmodels, and you're welcome to support me a little bit, or not a problem. But if you want to, it's there. If you don't, it's still there, but you don't have to use it. Thank you very much for coming along and watching. Wouldn't those missiles roast that guy when launched? Yeah, quite possible. No, he'd duck. He can. I know he doesn't actually fit through there at the moment with the shoulder pauldrons on, but I think in real life he could shut it down and close it down. But there we go. Spids off watching my green screen shenanigans. It's only 50 seconds. He says he feels cheated. It should have been a full minute. Yeah, I'd cut off a bit from the front and the end. So it could have been a minute, but it wasn't. Spid says no, he's got the power of the Emperor to protect him. So yeah, thank you again for watching. Next week hopefully will be a bit longer again, because my voice will be a little bit more recovered. And hopefully next time it'll actually start at the right time properly, and the link will be right, because I'll check that before I turn on the live button. So yeah, every week I'm getting better, and presenting's getting better, and the model's getting better. Everything just gets better week by week, doesn't it, really? So thank you all for watching. See you soon. It's Sunday today, so next up is Monday E-Models on the E-Models channel, not here obviously. Thursday night is again evening with me and the gang. Any of the gang that are around, if you're watching now, don't forget Thursday, come and join me. And I'll see you then. I'm going to click the going offline button, so it plays a little bit of music for a minute or so, and then I'll go offline properly. So I'll leave the chat running as it is. Paul says, thanks again, Chris. I feel better. Thank you very much. I feel better already. All these hopes and wishes are making me feel so much better. Shane Young says, night everyone. You have a good week. Candygram says, thanks, Chris. Next time. Dad says, don't forget, folks, the Sprue Crew needs your subs. So, yep, if you haven't subbed them already, go and check out and sub to the Sprue Crew. They haven't got any real content at the moment, but they will be getting some, and you can be in at the ground level. So go and subscribe to them. When they get their 100 things, they'll have a video thing, and it'll be lovely. Everyone will join in. It'd be great. So, before I lose my voice completely, I'll say good night. I'm moving close to the microphone so I don't have to talk very loud. Good night all. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.